Okay, I just got off the phone with one of my clients and I had to share this because the conversation came around value. Is her time being valued? And she has a very specific way that she knows how she feels valued in time. And so I took her through a series of questions because she's deciding, is what she doing the right fit for her? And we all feel that way, right? We all want to know the time that we're spending with each other or the time that we're spending in our job, are we actually getting paid the right amount of money? And I don't think that's a bad thing to ask yourself. And I know there's lots of times where people be like, well, I know I have suffered this quite a bit is what is my time actually worth? If someone's asking me to do something and I have to put a price on it, lots of times, I don't know about you, but I have undervalued my time because of that, because I'm worried, can they afford it? Am I worth it? Should I do it? And she was having this same kind of give and take, and she had a really good understanding of what she was worth in time. So a couple of questions that I kind of asked her was, if money was no option, if value was no option, are you happy with what you're doing? Meaning, do you like what you're doing? Do you feel like you're making a difference in this role? Do you feel like you're where you're meant to be? For her, the answer was absolutely. Like, I love what I'm doing. I feel like this is the right fit for me, but I'm not getting paid. And for her, money talks. I think money talks for a lot of people, but if in the absence of money, sometimes you just got to figure out like what is that. So I always see people value two different things really highly: money and time. And for her, she was willing to put the time and the effort and the work. Like she wasn't afraid to get gritty and do it, but she was wondering though, was she being paid fairly? And that happens in a couple ways. I can remember one of somebody who was working for me at one point came up to me and he asked for a raise. And I remember being like thrown back, like I didn't know how to get him a raise. I mean, he was being paid the top dollar. He was being paid, he was getting, whatever it was. And I remember running to my mentor at the time and going, oh my gosh, he wants a raise and I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to give him the raise that he wants. In my mind, I didn't even have an idea of I didn't even ask him, like, how much more money do you want to make? And so my mentor said to me, go back and find out, like, what does a raise mean to him? Get some clarity around what they actually want to get. So I did that immediately. I walked back to the person and I said, how much money do you want to raise? Well, what I was thinking the raise needed to be, he was only thinking like right here. So I was easily able to figure out how to get him where he wanted to go through better efforts and better results, because that's what we paid people on, is their results. So when I was asking my client, are you happy where you are? She said yes. Do you like what you're doing? She said yes. Do you feel this is the right fit for you? She said yes. Then we had to break it down to the money. And she had two ways that she could go through this, right? She could still be prosperous in the team that she was on, or she could look at going out on her own. Well, she didn't really want to go out on her own. So she wanted to understand where she could get better data so she could go to her leader and ask for the right amount. I think when we're looking at getting paid more money and asking for the value we deserve, there's a few questions that I think you should consider asking yourself. The first one is, if I had the money I want, am I super happy with what I do? If the answer is yes, perfect. If the answer is no, you got to then decide, what do you want to do? It could look like changing roles, being paid for the role that you're in. Nothing makes me crazier than when I have people who are in one specific role but want to be paid like a different person. The roles are different. The reason why this person gets paid more is because of the responsibility and the ownership and what that role takes. So you have to decide that. So that was the first one. Are you happy? If money was an issue, are you happy? Number two, are you doing the best that you can do? Are you literally showing up every day, being the best you can be in the role that you're in? For her, she was saying yes. Matter of fact, I know her results and she's doing a pretty freaking awesome job for being in the role as long as she has. So you got to ask yourself, are you doing that? Are you showing up the best you can be? Are you showing up the way that you want to be? If you had to rehire for that role, would you hire yourself, or would you look back and go, yeah, I probably could do this a little bit better? And then the third one, if you're doing those two things and if you're still gotten and getting paid, are you willing to do something different to get that paid? Here's the thing. We all should understand our value. You should know like what you're worth out there. And if you're doing all those things, you should stand up for what you're worth. And she's going to do that. She's going to figure out what are the right data, what's the right amount, where does she feel like it's a win for her and a win for the company? Because when it's a win-win, you absolutely have a better balance in longevity, culture, excitement, energy, happiness in the company itself. And I think in the long run, both people will be very happy. So I wanted to share that for you.